Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us in the celebration this weekend. As a transfer student to CMU, I would describe the journey of the last 2.5 years as delightfully unexpected. The person I was when I first began attending CMU is not the same person that stands before you today. When I was first presented with the question of whether I would be willing to share some thoughts with you, I thought, sure, hey, I mean, how hard could this be? And rather, it has turned out to be an exercise in deep self-reflection. I had to actually pause and think through what has actually happened in the last few years, and where and why, and how exactly those changes and transformations occurred. And trying to verbalize those experiences that have shaped me into the person that I am is difficult, and trying to do so in under 5 minutes is nearly impossible. So I'm gonna go over a few areas that I would like to share with you today that have contributed to my education here. In the summer of 2010, I had the opportunity to work with MCC's Victims' Voice program, Mennonite Central Committee's program, for my practicum. I worked closely alongside Wilma Dirksen, who, for those of you not from Winnipeg, her own daughter, Candace Dirksen, was murdered 27 years ago, and the killer was only found and sentenced this past winter. At this position, I regularly interacted with victims of violent crime. I also helped plan a conference for the end of the summer on the topic of forgiveness for those whose family members had been murdered. This conference was one of the most incredible experiences that I've ever had the honor to take part in. We had about 30 individuals who were at various stages of coping, anger, and pain, who were willing to talk about and explore the issues surrounding the experiences they had. Problems with the criminal justice system, problems with family and marital relationships after the murder had occurred, and the natural thoughts of and feelings of anger and revenge. And then we brought in Wilma, and we also brought in 3 other speakers that we had carefully chosen, who had also had family members murdered, to discuss this controversial and difficult topic. And what came out of that was the most incredibly raw and beautiful and tear-filled experiences that also included actually a lot of laughter and a lot of healing, and was one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had the opportunity to be a part of. I also never expected to be a part of the academic community like there is here at CMU. I have the utmost and deepest respect for the professors and staff here who don't just teach, but live what they teach. And to be a part of a community where the desire for learning and academic growth is only matched by the passion to live and learn about and serve God is an opportunity that I am so glad to have invested in. Part of that academic experience involved the opportunity to complete my own independent research study this last semester, where I looked at the role of religion in providing us protection from the fear of death. So not only was I able to learn about the academic protocols and skills that are needed to complete such a study, but I was also able to learn more about my own personal faith and my own understanding of God's role in our world and our lives. I was also enrolled in the senior integrative class entitled Psychology and Christianity, where I can hardly begin to describe to you how I was challenged to think through issues pertaining to my faith and how they worked within the context of the integration with psychology and other sciences. We discussed issues surrounding human nature, the question of minds, bodies, and souls, grace, prayer, forgiveness, and health. And I grew theologically and spiritually, both inside the classroom and outside the classroom, with discussions with professors and friends in ways that I had never anticipated, but am so grateful for. In brief, I never expected to attend CMU. I never expected to learn and grow academically, intellectually, or in my own personal faith journey as I have. And I never expected my understanding of God or the things his heart desires to be shaped and molded and be so much bigger than I had ever foreseen. However, I am very pleasantly surprised with the unexpected opportunities I've had, an opportunity to partake in, and the person that I have become. Words to describe how much I value the experience I've had here at CMU fail me, unless you have a few hours, in which case you can find me after. So then perhaps it is better to leave it to C.S. Lewis, reading from Prince Caspian from the Chronicles of Narnia series. "Welcome, child," he said. "Aslan," said Lucy, "you're bigger." "That is because you are older, little one," answered he. "Not because you are. I am not. But every year you grow, you will find me bigger." Thank you.